Hello kids, welcome to our library. Today is the second month of our library orientation. What does that mean? What does that word mean? Orientation. It's a time for us to learn about our library. And what we're learning today isn't just about the Paca Library. It's about a lot of libraries around the world that you can visit and you can find the books yourself. Okay? Today, we are going to be learning about the Dewey Decimal System. Now, the older kids in the third and fourth grade already learned about it, but today we're going to be reminded of what the Dewey Decimal System is. If you are in second grade, this might be the first time that you're learning about this. And what is the system? And who came up with the system? Mr. Melville Dewey was a librarian like Mrs. Serafini many years ago. And he used to go to libraries and walk in and look at the books, and they were organized by color. All the red books were together, all the blue books were together, or all the big books were together. And so if he wanted a book about bears, he didn't know where to find them. So then he thought, you know what? I'm going to come up with a system and I'm going to organize all the books by topic, by subject. So he came up with 10 different categories. And today we're going to look briefly at every category. Okay, we're going to walk around our library and see where those books are. Now, the Dewey Decimal System is used for non-fiction books and fiction books too, but most libraries, like our Paca Library, we separate our fiction books, like over here. So they're easy to find. So we do not include our fiction books in the Dewey Decimal System here. So we're only going to talk about our non-fiction books. So the categories are from 0 all the way to the 900s. And so when you're here in your library, you can find the books that you want to read. So they're easy to find. Let's say you love basketball, for example, and you want to read a book about basketball. So you will go to the right category, which is the 700s, the arts and sports. And basketball is this little number right here, 796.32. Why these crazy numbers? So they make sense. They're like the house, your house number. How do I find your house if I want to visit you? I need a number, right? I don't need just the title, which would be your address, the name of your street. I also need a number so we can go exactly to the shelf. So where are these books in our library? Where are the nonfiction books? So here, we're going to go together. When we had our library orientation last month, we looked at our library and we looked at our nonfiction books. And they are over here on the shelf on both sides. So we're going to start with the other side. Okay, we're going to go around and we'll start with the zeros. This is the first category, and look, our library is already divided, has already divided the book with all the categories, all the 10 categories. So the zeros are right here, which are books about information in general, just books about information like weird but true, just fun facts, random facts, or onde será mais de 200 perguntas e respostas, so just questions and answers. Remember, we also have books in Portuguese and nonfiction. So that's our zeros category. Our 100 category are books on feelings, emotions, what you're thinking about, what you're feeling. So I have some books right here like the ABC book of feelings, or stress. Stress can really get on your nerves. So if you want to read books about your feelings, they're in the 100s. The 200s, this is a big section in our library because it's our religion. This is where we talk about Jesus. We find books about Jesus, devotionals, Bibles, but many other religions around the world as well, not just Christianity, okay? Now, the 300s are the books about people around the world, the society, what people do around us, things that we have come up with as men in the society, okay? like let's say holidays, right? Like Thanksgiving, or just children around the world, different cultures. Korean children's favorite stories. So we also find stories about other countries, about stories that are popular in other cultures, like ogros e gigantes. Fairy tales are found in the 300s. Okay, so now the 400s are our languages, okay? So here at PACA, our kids speak a lot of different languages, okay? So here we have some books, like my first book of Korean words, As Minhas Primeiras 1000 Palavras em Português, or let's say Curious George Dictionary in English. So if you want to find different books on different languages, come to the 400. So now we're going to walk around again, and we will go to the 500s. Okay, so the 500s start right here. Oh, actually the sign is over there, but that's okay. The 500s are the books on God's creation. Animals, oceans, I have some here, insetos, insects, oceans, dinosaurs. All of God's creation is right here. So if you love to learn about nature, this is your section, the 500s. Now the 600s, this is the section where we read books about all that we do with God's creation. Okay, so let's say God created the horse. What can we do with a horse? We can ride a horse. So books on riding horses, technology, using our intelligence for things that we can do to improve our lives and the world around us. How to take care of dogs, or a cookbook, how to cook, or supercars, how to even make cars. So what we do with God's creation. Then the 700s right here are the books. I think this is one of my favorite sections because this is art, music, games, crafts. So I separated some fun books here for us, like Art Attack, a book on art, comic books, Garfield, or music, the story of the Incredible Orchestra. So if you like arts and sports, music, this is your section too. The 800s, we only have 2 more. Remember, we have 10, so we are in the 8s now. 800s are the books about poetry and writing, okay? So stories, this is where our fiction section would be found, but remember, we don't put the books here. But we have jokes, just joking, Roald Dahl Treasury, so just stories, okay? Like by Roald Dahl. Or poetry, Where the Sidewalk Ends. So these are great books here too. Miss Tiffany loves all the sections, but some of them are my favorite. And then our very, very last section, the 900s, this is the geography and history, like your História e Geografia classes that you have with your teachers. Maps and countries and world history. And I have some books here, like a book about São Paulo, the city where we live, or South Korea, or Canada. So books about the world and just what happened in the past, where countries are located. These are great books for you to learn about the things around you and things that have happened. So this is it, boys and girls. These are the sections in the Dewey Decimal System that you can find here on the door. If you have any questions, you can send Mrs. Serafini questions on Seesaw. And then screen number 3, when you click on screen number 3, you can play some games about the library and about Dewey Decimal System. Okay? Happy reading. Have fun.